We met online about 6.5 years ago. So it was Craigslist. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Not. We met on Match.com, and
his pictures were, I don't even know why I went out with him because they were terrible.
I think we talked on the phone a few times first, and then we finally decided to meet in person, and that was fun.
He was late, and I could not understand why. Finally, he calls me, and he's like, "This place doesn't exist. The address you gave me is non-existent."
So I go to it. I go to the exact address, and it's a laundromat. So I was like, all right, I guess this didn't work out. So I call her, and she's like, no, I'm sitting here. I'm like, well, unless you're in the laundromat, you're not here.
My impression when he walked in, first of all, was that, wow, his pictures were terrible because he's gorgeous. Super tall, super buff, and I was definitely impressed and pleased to see him walk through the door. But he looked so serious. And I was like, well, this is going to be a tough nut to crack. But after about 6 margaritas, I did it. I'd say the biggest thing was that we both like country music, and in the city of Chicago, that's not the easiest thing to find, let alone, again, a Chicago police officer and somebody who just doesn't fit that stereotype.
Anyone I ever did talk to before her, everyone said they loved all kinds of music except country. So that was a big disappointment, and then she came along and she's like, oh yeah, I grew up on a farm and this. I'm like, no, you didn't. No. But
we ended up we saw each other a few times after that, communicated quite a bit, and then I got a job opportunity in Virginia and left. So we had a little sabbatical, and just a little one, just a 3-year one. It turned out to be the best thing to ever happen probably to both of us. I got an incredible experience just with my career and got to live that life out there, and he got to continue to just build his career here and
meet other weirdos.
And meet weirdos, go on lots of other awkward dates and compare them all to ours. One day he just popped up as someone you might know on Facebook, and I thought, for sure this guy, as nice as he was and as good looking as he was, I'm sure he's married with 6 children by now. In 3 years somehow that would have happened. But so I just passively friended him so I could cyber stalk him, and a few days later he messaged me, and here we are. So our first kiss, I went over to his neighborhood, and we went to Starbucks, which he is not a coffee drinker.
No, I don't drink coffee.
Unless it's a fruity, girly drink of some sort that doesn't really even look like it fits in his hand, he doesn't drink it. Yeah, so I was like, well, of course he's gonna like something like, I don't know, green and frothy and different than regular coffee. So I made him get a green tea latte.
Yeah, actually I think you got it and just wanted me to try it. Maybe. I think that was it because I was too scared. So she gets it, she orders it, she's drinking it. And then she has me try it, and oh, it was disgusting. I mean, it was like a green dirt mint
I
coffee.
lost all validity for my food and beverage suggestions at that point. He would not.
I think I might have spit it out. It was disgusting.
You might have. Yeah. So after that happened, he walked me to my car in the parking lot, and he was really nervous, and I couldn't really figure out why. He gets very quiet when he's nervous. He just kind of shuts down and holds it all in, and I can tell he was thinking about something, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I was like, well, all right, well, I've asked, I'm done, I'm ready to go home. So I was like, give me a hug, and he gives me a hug, and he just doesn't let me go, and doesn't let me go, and doesn't let me go. And finally...
You're making it sound like a kidnapping.
A little bit.
Go on.
Finally, he plants the sweetest little kiss on me. And
yeah, after drinking disgusting coffee, crap drink. So
I guess he felt like he deserved it at that point. Yeah.
I got the ring first, but then I needed to ask her dad permission. So I took him to a restaurant bar, got him all liquored up, and told him I wanted to marry his daughter and, spend forever with her and take care of her. And he said, well, you kind of got to ask her. You don't really need to ask me. But he goes, you know, you have my permission. It's kind of her decision, though. I was like, I planned on asking her too, but then we went on a trip to Tennessee, and that's when I decided I wanted to actually ask her to marry me, because she knew I had the ring. She knew I had it for like months. And she's just like, whoa, what's going on?
It's like, is he changing his mind?
We went on a hike up on a mountain that took like forever. I mean, we were up there. I don't know how high we were up there, but we were up there. And we got to the top of the mountain. There was a beautiful waterfall. And I'm like, oh, this might be a good spot. But damn, tourists kept coming up there. So I'm like, let's go a little higher. So we went like to the side of it and up to the top, and
he was acting so weird. He kept saying, I don't know, this air up here is so thin and I'm having a hard time breathing. I was like, this is weird. He's in really good shape. I don't understand.
Yeah, we had like a little secluded area we were in. So I'm like, sit on the bench, or sit on there was like this big tree trunk running horizontally. So I had her sit there. I said, let me take your picture. So I take her picture with the phone, and she's all smiling and sitting on there all happy. And then I bent down to get some water out of my backpack, so I unzip it, take a drink. I'm like, you want some water? And held it up to her, so she's like, oh, okay. So she wasn't looking, and when she wasn't looking, I took the ring out, and she got done with the water.
And then I turn around, and he's got the ring, and I couldn't believe it. My mouth dropped, and he just always knows the right thing to say, even if it's just a few words. And he's like, I just want you to make me happy forever, and I promise I'll do the same for you and give you the best life you could ever dream of. I promise that to your dad. And I had no choice but to say yes at that point. So at that point, I said yes, we're at the top of this mountain. Nobody has cell phone reception, so we can't even call anybody. So we just told strangers.
She told everybody on the way down the mountain.
It was actually really fun, because you get all these strangers to be really excited for you, and a bunch of them took our pictures, and it was really, really cute.
Well, we love going to Costco because it's Costco, and
it's like our Disney World.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they have their coupon book out. We stock up on stuff, but we just have a good time. You know, it's always an adventure, and we just have a good time. And
we have to go up every aisle. There's like a system to our madness too.
Yeah.
We bought our car through Costco. Our honeymoon is purchased through Costco, and we shop Costco online. It's not just in store. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Whenever somebody's like, "Oh, I like your shoes," yeah, I got them at Costco. I mean, it's an obsession at this point. So this is Miss Lady McGruff, and she has been in our family just over a year now. She is a ball of energy, if you can't tell by this face, but she also has the cutest face that makes us melt. She gets pretty much everything she wants. She's spoiled rotten, but she also loves everybody and everything. She lives for ropes and tug-of-war and running on the farm.
This is Sasha. Sasha Fierce is her full name. We call her Sasha, sometimes Sashi. She's 8 years old. Everyone thinks she's a baby, but she's actually 8. And she's our first dog. She is the greatest dog ever. She's just so sweet. She listens better than any dog I've ever seen before, except around strangers. Then she gets a little scared, but she could lay with you all day, right? You could sleep all day? Yes, I know. We spoil her rotten. She might get a few table scraps she's not supposed to.
Hence the extra LBs.
Yes, but we're not. That's okay. We love you.
He's a really genuine person. There are not a lot of men anywhere, let alone Chicago, let alone police officers, that have the heart and integrity that he does. And I just respect so much of who he is as a person and the life he's provided me already, let alone the future that we have together.
She's just really sweet, and she's fun to be around. She's not pretentious, she's very genuine, and we just have a really good time when we're together.